I'm back with my review for One Piece, chapter 998. We are so close to the goal. We are so close to 1,000. I cannot wait to see the huge reveal at 1,000. Unfortunately, I could not do a review on chapter 997 due to Thanksgiving and family stuff, and just a whole bunch of stuff came up in the last week that I wasn't able to get to it. Also, another part of what's been happening is I recently tested positive for COVID, so I've been dealing with that and a lot of other medical stuff with family and just trying to deal with all of that and get that taken care of. So I'm going to give a quick recap for chapter 997, and then I'll go into devouring and going in depth into One Piece chapter 998. So I would have loved to be able to react to last week and given a full chapter review, but since I wasn't able to, I'll just be able to go really quickly through it. And the first thing I wanted to comment on was, obviously we all know Sanji was caught in a spider web due to a trap left by Black Maria and her subordinates. Jinbei and Luffy skip a level and go past the guards up to level 4 without having to face anyone on level 3. And then we get the awesome moment, obviously the best part of the chapter, where Zoro takes out a poo because he's angry because he saw Kiku's arm. The other great part of what Zoro does during this chapter is after Queen tries to take out Chopper, Zoro blows up his bazooka gun and yells at him saying he's not here to play these little games, he's here to kill and cut down Kaido. But speaking of Chopper figured out a way to slow down the virus, and he figured out a way for them to be able to create a antibody for everyone. As Zoro's trying to figure out a way to get on top of the roof, Marco comes out of nowhere and decides that he is going to assist them in getting up to the top. At the very end of the chapter, it shows all these different people reacting to the island shaking, such as Nami and Tama, Luffy and Jinbei, Kid and his crew, Hyogoro, the Heart Pirates trying to get the submarine to the island, but everything is going crazy and rocks are crashing down. And we even have Black Maria saying so impatient, like she knows what's going on. We also see Yamato carrying Shinobu and Momo and realizing that there's no water or boats at the dock, and she gives an explanation to why, which is dragons can create flame clouds that will be able to lift things up and carry it. So what Kaido did was send those flame clouds around the island to lift it up and to move the island. And that is where we finished off. So we will get in to chapter 998, titled Ancient Zones. The cover page is kind of cool. It has Enel. He's laying with a cat listening to music while a mouse is staring at them. He kind of looks like a mouse butler. I don't know what he's all about. But I love that Enel's in it. Hopefully Enel comes back into the story, even if he's just one-shotted by Luffy, which I think would be hilarious if he comes back and everyone thinks he's going to be a huge threat, and then Luffy or Zoro or Sanji or someone just one-shots him. So in the beginning of the chapter, we see the island floating, and all of Kaido's subordinates are freaking out, not knowing that he was able to do that. And they also are confused as to why Marco the Phoenix is there. It shows Chopper getting burned by Marco, and Chopper freaks out. And at first, I couldn't really tell what the deal with Zoro and Brook were, because you see Zoro saying hey with an angry face, and Brook has an angry face. And then you see them both swinging, and it looks like they're swinging at each other at first, but then I realized Marco's in the air, and they just tried to hit him because they thought that he was trying to injure and hurt Chopper, but in reality, he was really helping and healing him. So at first I didn't understand that, but I see now that Zoro and Brook were trying to attack Marco because they thought he was hurting Chopper. I didn't catch at first, but now it's cool to notice and understand that. Chopper realizes that the fire doesn't burn, but it's really helping the virus not spread. And then you have the two other doctors from the Minks come in, Dr. Miyagi and Nurse Tristan. So with all these doctors here, they're going to figure out a way to get the antibodies going and hopefully figure out a cure for the virus. As everyone's running, going crazy with turning into ice onis, Marco uses passive flame and lights everything on fire, which then slows down the process of everyone burning. What I think is really cool is it shows this little tiny panel that I don't know if a lot of people notice this, but it's Marco and Chopper together, and Marco says, just as you said, it's drawing out their body heat. They will start turning into ice demons again when they run out of stamina. And I know a lot of people probably look at the stamina part, running out of stamina, but I think it's cool that Marco even mentions, just as you said, it's drawing out their body heat. So I think it's cool because Law and Marco have amazing powers to help their being a doctor, but Chopper has this incredible knowledge of to what to do with each thing, and Marco is understanding and realizing Chopper has an expertise and knowledge in this, and he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing, even if he doesn't have this special ability to help him with his medical stuff. It then shows Queen freaking out that Marco's there and tells all his subordinates that there's no way the enemy is going to help them and that they need to start fighting the enemy again. So as of this point, it's kind of setting up all these different battles, who's going to fight who, and it's going to start going through that page by page, and I'll get into that. But what's really funny is they kind of left out who Queen will be fighting. You kind of see some of the other matchups and how they're going to pan out, but with Queen in particular, he's still kind of just standing there directing people what to do. No one's really going face to face with him yet, so I'm really excited to see who's going to be taking him on. Marco then mentions to Zoro that he could fly the Straw Hats up if he wants, and he could fly Robin and Brooke up there also. He mentions, you aren't here to fight Small Fry, are you? Brooke does mention that he wants to stay and help Chopper, but all of the samurai say they will stay there and help protect him. Apu then gets back up to attack Chopper to try to get the antibody back, but is taken out by a fully transformed X-Drake. And we even get his little panel saying, X-Drake, Dragon Fruit, Ancient Zone, Model, Allosaurus. And it shows his full transformation, which is massive, huge, and he catches him right in his mouth and chomps down on Apu, taking him out. Drake then tells Zoro if he really considers him an ally, then let him take care of this floor and they can go ahead. And Zoro mentions, which is kind of cool, he says, aligning yourself with the winning side. You're smarter than you look. And it kind of just shows Zoro has huge faith in them being able to win. And it's just a nice little nod and a good little line that he had right there. It then takes you inside the castle on the 4th floor. It takes you to Jinbei and Luffy fighting a ton of other enemies. And Jinbei mentions this, and I think a lot of people may have taken this differently than how I took it. I don't think that this is correct because, I'll explain it to you, but Jinbei mentions that Sanji probably sensed the presence of a strong enemy. And then Luffy says, I see. Seems like my observation hockey still needs work. But we really know that that's not actually the case. And yeah, maybe Luffy's observation does need a little work, but Sanji didn't sense a presence of a strong enemy. He was listening for a woman in need, which he always does, and he always has had that, even before the time skip, even before he was really using haki. So I think a lot of people took that as, oh, Sanji has way more powerful observation haki as Luffy, which I'd be fine with. I don't care if he does, but that's not really the case. That's not really what happened. He didn't sense a stronger presence of an enemy. Jinbei then mentions to Luffy that Luffy needs to go ahead and he can take on these enemies that he's about to face. So it's already kind of setting up that Jinbei's on the 4th floor while Luffy's heading up to the top of the skull. Then it shows inside the dome, left brain tower, central passage. And it shows Frankie taking on Sasaki and his men. Sasaki tells his men to move aside as he transforms into, everyone I think saw this coming, but a Triceratops. It has a cool little box saying, the Flying Six, Sasaki, Dragon Fruit, Ancient Zone, Model, Triceratops. Sasaki mentions that, of course, he's a dinosaur and that dinosaurs are the strongest creatures that have ever lived. So that's going to be an awesome fight between Frankie and Sasaki. I really am excited to see if Sasaki turns out to be Kokoro's son, or if that's even a possibility. I mean, I'm sure it is, but I'm excited to see how that all turns out with Frankie and Sasaki. It then goes and shows Sanji inside the castle, 3rd floor banquet hall. It shows him running away from all these women, and it gives us the reveal of Black Maria. it shows the Flying Six, Black Maria, Spider Fruit, Ancient Zone model. Yeah, I'm not going to try to say that. I have no idea how to pronounce that, but yeah, she's basically a giant spider. Sanji's kind of tied up by the spider webs. He's trying to get away, but he's surrounded by all these women, and he says, "Is this heaven?" So I don't really know what's going to go on there. Hopefully, since Marco's flying them up, Robin will stop and hopefully take on Black Maria for Sanji, so he's able to move on and fight someone else. Maybe he fights Queen or King. Who knows? This next part is probably my favorite part of the whole chapter. I really loved this little panel, and that's why I put Jinbei in the thumbnail of this video. It's probably, I think, the best moment of it, and I love this line that he has. But before that, we are inside the castle 4th floor cat cafe, and we see all these different cat variations of these pirates, and we have Who's Who transformed into a saber-toothed tiger, and he has his little box saying the Flying Six, Who's Who, cat fruit, Ancient Zone model, saber-toothed tiger. And what I thought was really surprising about his fruit especially is that he is massive. The saber-toothed tiger, I thought it was going to be like a slim, small, lean tiger, but he's massive. He's really huge, and so I'm really excited to see Jinbei taking on Who's Who. So what was really cool about this is Who's Who mentions that Straw Hat got away and he's going to cause Kaido some trouble. He also mentions that he didn't expect the former warlord, Jinbei, the Knight of the Sea, to be so childish, which I don't really know what he's alluding to. Maybe taking on his men and defeating them is what I'm guessing. But then Jinbei claps back with, "I'm the helmsman of the Straw Hat Pirates. I'd rather you use that title with more worth to it." Which I love, because he's declaring he's the helmsman of the Straw Hat Pirates. He's declaring he's on the Straw Hat crew, and he's saying that that title is worth more to him than his old title of being a warlord for the government. Who's Who does mention that he did catch a glimpse of him when he was a warlord, and Jinbei wonders who's under the mask, and he wonders if he's going to be able to take it off. But we have Who's Who saying, "Too bad you won't be seeing it." So Who's Who might be someone we know. I'm not really entirely sure if we'll know him, but it's kind of cool that it's kind of teased that he's someone that has seen Jinbei before. The next double page spread that we get, and by the way, these are all double page spreads. I can't believe there's so many double page spreads in this chapter. But the next one is of the Flying Six members, Ulti and Page 1. And then obviously it says they're Dragon Fruit, Ancient Zones. Page 1's Spinosaur, and Ulti's is the one I cannot pronounce. But they're in their full forms. They're huge, they're massive. And I think that's the craziest part about this chapter, is it's showing all these Ancient Zones. And not only showing that they're unique devil fruits, but these devil fruits are massive. They're huge, and I can't believe how big some of these creatures are when they turn fully into their forms, especially the saber-toothed tiger. Now at the very end of the chapter, it shows inside the dome in the storeroom. It shows Momonosuke is in there with Shinobu and Yamato. There's a huge statue of a dragon that's broken, and Yamato mentions that it was abandoned there after her friend broke it. And Momo says, "Your friend?" And Yamato replies, "Yes. A few years ago, he came to kill my father." And it shows Ace in the background. Now, this opens up a lot of thoughts and probably a lot of speculation to what had happened. We're probably going to find out in the next couple of chapters, maybe. But Ace has a huge role in Wano, and I cannot wait to figure out what that role is going to be. But even more importantly, it makes me think that I feel like Sabo really has to turn up there, not only because he needs to help his brother Luffy, but because he has Ace's old devil fruit. And I think that's going to tie something in to the story with him showing up in Wano. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. There's no break next week, so we're going to be right back at it next week. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting, liking, sharing, whatever you guys do to help. I need the help, so please keep on doing that. Thank you so much. Remember to be kind to others. See ya.